Welcome back, 5th grade. I have videos for you too. I am certainly missing you guys. I hope you're missing me. I hope this video will help you remember what I look like when we finally get back together. I hope you're not driving your family too nuts. I'm here to give you a little bit more detail and information to make the math work you're doing at home a little bit easier. One of the first lessons that you guys were working on, really starting in last week's lessons, was about map location. The first thing I want to remind you of is on a map, normally north is up. To help you remember on a compass which directions are which, I learned an acronym when I was little. It is never eat soggy waffles. Anytime I write a compass on a map, if I'm creating one of my own or if I'm reading a map, I can hear that in the back of my head and it makes sure that I know which directions are which because you're going to need it for this lesson. Now, in this lesson, there are several different places that are located along what's called a grid system here. Okay, this grid system operates with vertical lines and horizontal lines. The locations that you find are where these lines intersect or come together. Okay, so we're going to start by putting our school right here, and I'm going to put a couple of other places here. Say this is the aquarium. Say this is going to be Gravity Park. If I wanted to give directions on this grid pattern, how to get from school to the aquarium, I'm going to have to tell people which direction to go. So for example, if I need to get from school to the aquarium, I have a couple different ways to go. One of the ways that I could go is I'm going to be counting units, okay? A unit is from one line to the next. They're almost like these little squares. Think about it like base 10 blocks. How many units am I moving to get there? So if I'm going from school to the aquarium, which I hope it happens after school, or maybe it's a really fun field trip for us because aquariums are awesome. Anyway, back to math. If I'm moving from school to the aquarium, I can move 2 units in this direction on my map. And if I'm moving to the right, which direction am I moving? I happen to be moving 2 units east. From there, I'm going to have to move 2 more units. 1, 2. This time, I moved 2 units north because I'm moving up on the map. So if I'm giving directions on how to get from the school to the aquarium, I moved 2 units east and 2 units north. You could also come over here and you could have gone north first and then east. There are different ways to get there. When you're working with map locations, it doesn't matter which direction you go first. But remember, this is only for map locations. Later on, you're going to learn a little bit more about a different system. This one is only for map locations. You could go 2 different ways. Say there was traffic along these streets. Think of them like streets. If there was traffic here, you wouldn't want to drive in the traffic. You'd want to go a different way. Let's try it again. Let's go from the aquarium to Gravity Park. Say you're going to make a day out of it. If I have to travel from the aquarium to Gravity Park, let's say I want to go this way first. So I move 1 unit west. Then I'm still going to have to move 2 more units to the north. Again, like I said, there are different ways to get to places when you're talking about map locations, but make sure map locations are the only ones that you're using to move in 2 different directions. Later on, I'll explain more.